we showed you earlier the ability to do some analyzing in Business Central that really, in many cases, replaced the need of Microsoft Excel for pivot tables. But what I would say is there is a direct connection between Business Central and Excel to do a multitude of different things. If I'm looking at a list of information in Business Central, right? Maybe I just want to get that data out in more of a read-only mode. I can certainly do that. So we talked about that share capability earlier. If I'm looking at a list, I can actually select my share icon here, and then I can open that data in Excel, right? And so what that's going to do is it's going to download that into an Excel workbook for me where I can actually work with my data, right? I can have this download data to Excel Online, as I'm showing you here, also Excel Desktop. This will actually save this in my OneDrive for future reference as well. And I can interact with that data in more of a read-only mode, right? Now, what if I want to actually edit my information in here, right? Let's say I want to do some data updates. Rather than opening in Excel, I also have the ability to edit in Excel, right? So that same experience can be triggered through share and then go to edit in Excel, right? And what that's now doing is opening up a workbook for me with my Dynamics connector. So as this opens up here, similar view that we showed you before, but the difference here is that now I can leverage the Microsoft Dynamics connector for Excel, right? This is incredibly powerful in how it allows me to download data from Business Central and then also make changes to it, right? So as I'm looking at this specific list of information, this Dynamics connector has populated for me. And from here, I have the ability to refresh my data set, right? So maybe I've opened this up, the workbook's a little bit stale, and I just want to refresh. I can easily do that. And what that's doing is downloading the most recent changes that have occurred in Business Central into my Excel workbook, right? And so I really like this for getting data out. And what I'll also point out is you can start your day in Excel. You can open up this workbook that's saved on your desktop or in your OneDrive, and you can then just refresh it. And so I have a quick view, I can get a quick report. I could even have a pivot table or something like that saved off of this data, and I refresh, and then that data is automatically refreshed for me. Well, let's say I want to make changes to my data, right? Maybe I'm just updating my customers. Maybe I want to update the salesperson code that's associated with one of them, or just the name. What I have the ability to do is actually update data here within Excel, and then push that data back into Business Central, right? So as I update that, I can just select Publish. And what that's going to do is then push that data to Business Central and then give me a message that says it's successful. Now you might be asking, that looks really scary. I don't want my users to do that. What important thing to understand here is that when you update data in Excel, it's respecting the security guidelines and all of the application logic in Business Central and really interacting with this through a page. So if I don't have access to update something, it's going to give me a nice message that says you don't have access to update the customers. Maybe you're updating a field that isn't supposed to be updated. It's not going to let you do that within this bounds. Master data updates, incredibly useful. Also, think about situations like doing journal entries. Journal entries can be done within Excel, and then they can be pushed back to Business Central. So if I just open up this other tab here, in this screen, I've got a general journal, and I've got data from that general journal. I can add rows to this. I can update rows. Maybe I'm doing a payroll allocation or something like that. I can actually make those changes in Excel and then push those back into a general journal window that I want to then review. So the possibilities are endless with that tool, and it's really changed the game as far as where I'm actually interacting with my business data.